Hi friends, welcome to Answers. Today it is the 72nd episode in the biology series. So today we are going to discuss about another pathogen, and that pathogen is a thing called as the virus. With the recent corona pandemic, we all wanted to know what the hell are viruses. And so today we are going to discuss what are viruses. Yes. So first, a virus. Wait a second. They are not completely round. Okay. Let's take a certain type of viruses. So this is an example of a virus. So first, let's see into the structure. Next is main function and some examples of these viruses. Yes. So first, there are three different types of shapes of viruses. Yes. So okay, there are three of them. First is the helical type of viruses. They are like cylinders. Yes. Okay. Next there are icosahedron viruses. So first, icosahedrons are shapes which are made of equilateral triangles which have a total of 20 sides, 20 faces. It's a 3D shape. So these viruses are in the shape of an icosahedron. And last and finally are complex viruses. They come in different shapes and varieties, but one of the most popular type of these viruses, the complex virus, is the bacteriophage. It has a head and a small tail. The head is an icosahedron and its tail is the helical, and it also has legs like this, and this is a bacteriophage. An example of a bacteriophage. Not all bacteriophages look like this. Yes. So next, this is how they have a shape. But what is inside of them? What are they composed of? Yes. So we should rub all of this again. These viruses are so simple that many scientists just debate if they are living organisms or not living organisms. No one knows. Let's take a big version. Okay. So this is a virus. Think that this is a virus. So first there is Okay. So this is an outer covering known as a plasmid. Inside it there is the nucleic acid which contains DNA or RNA, which contains all of the viral genetic code of the virus all around the place. And in some viruses, this genetic code could be linear, and again in some other viruses, it will be in a circular form. It varies from virus to virus. Yes, so for every virus, this is a completely compulsory. If they don't have these two main things, that means they are not alive. Yes. Okay. So next, some extra things. So some of them have a thing called an envelope, yes, which is like another extra cover. So there are again two types of viruses in the regards of envelopes: enveloped and non-enveloped. That's just simple. Yes. Okay. So this is what resides inside a virus. So first the DNA or RNA inside the nucleic acid. Next a plasmid which surrounds that nucleic acid, and then an extra thing which is, guess it, an envelope which acts like a separate cover around them, a shield of sorts. Okay, so we saw what is the structure of viruses. So next, the next question is, what do viruses do? Yes, so viruses attack a specific organism. So for example, the common cold and some other viruses only attack humans. Meanwhile, some other viruses only attack another animal. But only some viruses are between two species, two or more than two species, especially the COVID-19 one, which came from bats to humans. Yes. Okay. So first, how do they even come into the cell, and what do they even do inside a cell, and how they kill a cell? Okay, so there are two ways that they can happen: a lytic cycle as well as that a lysogenic cycle. Yes, so first let's cover the lytic cycle, which is the shorter of the both. Okay, so take this surface as a bacteria. We're going to take a bacteria, not a human cell. Okay, let's take a bacteriophage which came to attack the bacteria. Simple. Okay, so it landed on the bacteria and then it will inject its genetic things, its DNA and RNA into the bacteria, where the DNA and RNA will eventually come into the things, the ribosomes, where they will be replicated, and finally viruses. So if a virus has only DNA, that means there are less chances for mutations, but if it has RNA, there are more chances of mutations. Sad. Okay, and again this lytic process happens in two other ways. The virus can enter in one other way. That is, so first there's a virus. It wants to come inside a cell, but it doesn't have the things to just stand on it. So what it does is, okay, it goes like this. It comes into contact with the cell walls, where it binds to some receptors and tells to the receptors, I am not anything else, I'm just a food particle, and you may want to take me inside because I may have some use in you. Okay, and after that the cell literally takes the pathogen inside, where the pathogen releases its plasmid. That means all the DNA opens, it goes, and then it can replicate. Yes, so the cell gets destroyed because of the process known as rupturing. So there would be too many viruses which get replicated, and this many viruses, it gets too compacted, and when too many things are getting compacted or compressed in one small place, do you know what happens? Rupture, and the cell dies in this way. Viruses start to come out of it to start killing another cell. This is how viruses work, but this is the only one process in how these do kill. There is another process. This is pretty similar and also has the lytic process in it. So this is the lysogenic process, but it is the longer of the two. Okay. The first step is also very similar to the first step of the lytic process. Okay. So another new fresh cell. So this time we have another bacteria, which is also another type of bacteriophage. There is not only one bacteriophage but many others, and it just randomly injects its DNA and RNA. But no viruses get created. But nothing happens. No new viruses get created. But what happens is DNA and RNA get mixed into the cell's own DNA and RNA, making the cell have some amount of the virus gene inside of it. And also one fun fact, humans are 1/10 viruses. Yeah, virus genes to be exact. Yes, so we are viruses. We are descendants of viruses. So that 10% come from these type of viruses only, their RNA and DNA or DNA. Yes. So after some time, after like many days, many years, the cell starts replicating into many different cells. This becomes two of them, and 2 become 4, and 4 become 8, and that continues on and on. But the virus DNA still keeps on. For example, if this cell had 50% virus DNA, these two cells will also have 50% virus DNA. Yes, so that means they're pretty much viruses, half viruses. But but how does it kill the cell, and how does the virus reproduce in this case? Okay, sometimes when a specific process happens inside the cell, like when it gets hungry or for some reason it gets stimulated, it suddenly starts to produce these viral cells, viral proteins, which turn into viruses, and then the lytic process restarts. Yeah, and that's how new viruses again start inside this cell and then break. The cell dies and cell will be like, other cell, please avenge me. Oh. And the other cell, and that cell will, before dying, it will just release some cytokines which will tell the immune system, come, there's something happening, just go, I don't have anything to do with it. And the immune cells say, there's something attacking our body, like that. That is what happens. Okay, so next, what are the main cells which attack these viruses, which kill these viruses? So some cells are the killer T cells and the natural killer cells. Yes, so there is a virus infected cell. The virus automatically tells the cell to close its MHC class 2 windows. MHC class 1 windows. We already discussed about those MHC class 1 before. Yes, okay. So they act like windows as summary. So these cells show what proteins are getting out of from the what proteins they are even producing through these windows. Yes, okay. So a killer T cell comes. It just checks. And in this MHC class window, there are virus proteins. Oh no. Oh, yes. So there will be only some MHC class 1 windows left because the virus tries to close all of them, most of them. And then so this killer T cell tells the cell, this infected cell, to just kill itself in a process known as apoptosis. Meanwhile, the natural killer cells do it a bit differently. Instead of looking through the window, they check if the cell is stressed or if it has closed a lot of MHC windows. And if it closed many MHC windows, or if it is very stressed, which happens when it is infected by cancer or viruses, it will just, hello, just die. I say you to die. You should follow my orders. And then apoptosis again happens and the cell will be like, okay, goodbye. And the virus would be like, emergency, run. Self-destructive cell. And that is what happens. But the viruses don't have mind. They don't know where they are going. See, this is for today about viruses. Bye.